boss trusts us, huh?
That or he doesn't know it's just us.
That's probably it.
Hey, barkeep, give me a Knickerbocker straight up.
It's a basketball team, isn't it?
Wrong. Any self-respecting bartender knows what a Knickerbocker is. It is raspberry syrup, pineapple
Reed, let's
syrup,
get one
lemon
thing
juice,
straight.
rum.
I have no intention of becoming a self-respecting bartender. Got it?
Well then, how about becoming a self-respecting scientist?
You're trying to ruin my day, pal? You're doing a real good job of it.
No. I am trying to get you back into that lab of yours, and I'm doing something about it today.
As you can see, the views are spectacular. This condominium is not only in the highest point in all of Springfield, but it's even higher than all of the best estates on the hill.
You don't have to convince me, Miss.
Well, what do you mean the mortgage has been denied? You approved it yourself. Come, we've already made a payment on it.
That will, of course, be returned immediately.
We don't want it returned. We want this house.
I'm sorry, but as an officer of the bank, I have to protect the bank's investments. Any loan, as I'm sure you realize, is an investment of sorts. So...
Mr. Hamilton, you know I'm good for that loan. I've done a lot of business with your bank.
Yeah, this is ridiculous. I never heard of anything
Mr.
like
Reardon's
this.
integrity is not in question, certainly not. But now that there appears to be a cloud on the title to the cottage...
Well, how'd you find out
Well,
about
we just
that?
found out about that yesterday.
Well, Susan Piper.
Miss Piper.
Miss Piper.
And now, guiding light.
Deal's a deal, Mr. Hamilton. There's no backing out now.
I must admit that the circumstances are a bit unusual, and I know the title search company told us that everything was fine, which is why the mortgage... duty to let the bank know that a problem had developed. After all, the Piper Agency does a great deal of business with Springfield National. Obviously, it was in her best interest to cooperate.
Obviously.
The bank followed up on Miss Piper's information, and we found it to be correct. I still don't know how the title company missed the problem.
Well, I'll tell you how. It's because at that time, Miss Piper had not yet stolen the records from...
Anna.
What are you talking about?
Nothing, Mr. Hamilton. Forget it. We're just trying to figure a couple of things out, you know? Like who's on whose side.
Oh, right.
I get it.
No, I'll get it. Excuse me. Maybe it's Mike.
Tony.
Hi, come on in. I'm glad to see you.
Mike,
Thanks
what are you
for
doing
coming
here?
by.
I might ask you the same thing. I got your message on the way to the office.
Oh, you're...
So, I'll tell everybody you're going to be late, all right?
Yeah, I'll see you later. Thanks for the help, buddy.
Yeah, sure.
Can they do that, Mike? I mean, can they take away the mortgage after they already approved it?
Well, actually, the bank doesn't have any other choice. You see, they're in effect lending you somebody else's money. So legally, they can't offer you an unsecured loan. I mean, if there was a problem with the title, the bank could end up with nothing.
Tony.
Are you sure about this title foul-up?
Yes. Unfortunately, unless the missing records can be produced, my hands are tied. I'm very sorry. These kids obviously have their hearts set on this house. If it's any consolation, Miss Piper has agreed to give you 30 days before you have to move out.
Oh, she has.
I thought that was quite generous.
You did, huh? Well, since generosity seems to be the order of the day, Mr. Hamilton, let me very generously extend to you 30 seconds. 29.
I'm sorry you feel this way, Mike. Please try to make them understand. Goodbye.
27.
I
26.
bit nails!
Why don't we just strangle a couple of
Yeah, how about Miss Piper?
How about Mr.
Wait,
Hamilton?
now, wait a minute. Now, just calm down here. Why don't you start by telling me at the beginning, and we'll see if we can't clear this thing up.
You want to start?
No, you start.
Have you ever heard of Alicia Romer?
The axe murderess on the nightly news? Yeah, we've met one.
Well, you are about to become her best friend because you're going to do an interview with her.
No way, pal.
What?
You heard me. Read my lips. No way.
Are you crazy? This is a spot on the news that's going to go network. You got to do it. Hey, listen to me.
I really do. I appreciate it. But I'm not about to make a fool of myself on nightly television. I'll leave that to politicians and actors. They do a real good job of it.
Hey, now listen to me. I'm going to keep writing about you. The pen is mightier than the sword, right?
Right on.
All right, then. Let me tell you something about this little black box. It is mightier than all the pens in the world when it comes to getting the nightly news out to the general public.
Read that may be. But as far as
But, don't give me any buts, all right? Now, I have done my part for you. It is now your turn.
I can't, okay? I just wouldn't be any good at it.
Of course you won't be any good. You are going to be great. They'll love you, Jim. Now, listen to me. Listen to me. I'm telling you the truth here. You are handsome. You are brilliant. You're volatile. Your story's astounding. Now, listen, when that news crew, when they get in here, they are going to have live evidence of the famous Dr.
What do you
Jim
mean?
being
What do you
held
mean?
hostage in a neighborhood bar.
What are you talking about? When they get in here?
Well, any minute.
You look terrific in that shirt.
Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
You noticed, huh?
Of course I noticed.
It's no big deal. I figured I ought to get some, fancy threads. I gotta keep all these great-looking chicks happy, right? Oh, hey, what do you expect? I got my public to think about now. I'm a working stiff.
What do you mean now? You've been working for months.
No. Now I'm working because I want to, not because I have to.
Yeah, it's a big difference, isn't it? Hey, it feels nice to bring home money you've earned. Makes you feel good about yourself, huh?
Yeah. I guess so.
Is something bothering you?
What? Yeah. Sort of. The Galahads.
Do you feel like you deserted them?
You get it, don't you?
Yeah, I think so. You were their leader, and now you're not a part of them, so you feel...
I feel like I just walked out on.
The other night? Back to the Galheads?
No,
Lou Jack, look. You don't have to protect me. I understand a lot more than you think.
Not all the Galahads are like Darcy or Lucky. They're not all out to cause trouble or hurt people.
Well, maybe you can help them. I know. You can help them get summer jobs.
What?
Yeah, like at the hospital. No, you've got connections. What about Spaulding Enterprises?
Yeah. Maybe I could.
Yeah,
They could work for money, right?
right.
IQ'd love that, so Trimmer. And I could get Pretty Boy a job, no sweat. Hey, that's a terrific idea.
Thanks. You're not so slow yourself. Here, a present for you.
Oh, nice teeth.
Don't you like?
Thing is for you to just be yourself. Forget about the crew, the camera, everybody. Just concentrate on Alicia Romer, the interviewer.
Excuse me, Jimmy, there is a TV news truck unloading all kinds of equipment outside.
Yeah, Ma. They're here to do an interview on me.
Oh, they are? You're going to be on television? Oh, why did I go? Oh, I got to change my dress. I'll be right back.
Yes, so am I. Now, I did have one other really creative idea for the opening.
I can't wait to hear it.
Well, you know that the entire wing's going to be finished in time for Founders Founder's Day. You do think Founder's Day is a perfect day for the opening, don't you? Mr. Andrews and I do. The Spauldings are one of the first families of Springfield, and a Spaulding is donating the new wing.
So what could be more fitting? Yes, I agree. Founder's Day is perfect.
This by Mr. Andrews yet, but what do you think about some absolutely adorable plastic hard hats? And just handing them out to everyone like a motif. And then we can have white paper tablecloths with paint drippings all over them and, you know, that sort of thing. Of course, it would still be black tie, and people wouldn't have to wear the hats, but it'd be symbolic of the fact that there's still a lot of work to be done on the wing. It was an idea. What do you think?
It's, interesting. Different.
Yeah, it'd be fun and, well, chic.
Let me think about it. You have come up with some very unusual ideas.
Oh, thank you.
I assume Mr. Andrews was involved as well.
Oh, yes, very involved. We had several meetings.
I see. Actually, I thought he'd be here today.
Oh, he was going to be, right up until the last minute, and then he had to rush off and meet...
He's been missed. Oh, yes, Jane, what is it? What is it? Is that envelope for me?
Yes.
Well, for heaven's sake,
It is.
Jane, what is it?
I was parked down on Groton Avenue, picking up your wine order. When I came out of the store, that envelope was under the windshield wiper. And then I saw a young boy running away from the car, so I chased after him.
How old was this child?
Young, 6, 7, I'm not sure.
So young? Go on.
Well, for a young boy, he was a very fast runner, but I finally caught up with him. Let me tell you, he was scared to death.
What did he say?
That some older kids forced him to put that letter on the car. They said if he didn't do it, they'd break his arm.
Charming.
I believe he was telling the truth. He was shaking. He was so scared. Couldn't even give me much of a description, except he was pretty sure they were members of a gang.
Oh, I have no doubt about that.
A gang? Springfield has gangs?
Baroness, we have the little boy's name and address.
Yes. I thought I should get it in case you wanted to ask him any questions.
No, I don't think that will be necessary.
Is there anything else you'd like me to do?
No, thank you very much, Sydney. I will handle it from here.
Thank you, madam.
I'll show you out.
I can't believe this. Baroness, you have to call the police right away.
I'll do no such thing.
Well, why not?
This letter was meant to scare me. And I have no intention of gratifying the senders by giving in to hysterics. The nerve of these little punks.
Baroness, are you all right?
Yes, I am fine, Jane.
Baroness, what does the letter say?
Baroness, you and your task force mind your own business, or next time this blood will be yours.
Baroness, it's signed in blood.
Oh, that's disgusting.
You will not mention this letter to anyone. Do you understand? They think they can scare me. Do this affair for you. You planning hot hors d'oeuvres or cold?
Here you are, Miss Piper.
Well, thank you very much.
If it's possible, I'd like to move in right away.
Oh, that's fine with me.
Well, splendid. I'll go back to my office and arrange the papers for you, shall I? Unless, of course, there's some other way I can be of assistance to you.
Nope.
I'm fine.
Well, it's certainly been a pleasure doing business with you, Mr. Andrews.
You've been very accommodating, Miss Piper.
Thank you. And please give my best regards to your husband, won't you?
Sure thing, Miss Pipper.
It's a Piper, darling.
Oh,
Piper.
how foolish.
Snob.
The Piper Agency doesn't usually handle condominiums.
No, we normally handle only castles and chateaux.
With moats. Oh, dear. Oh, dear. Anyway, congratulations, because you do have
Whoa.
yourself one terrific bachelor pad. Sure, help yourself.
Are you and HB going to move back to Tulsa?
Oh, no. As a matter of fact, Springfield's favorite real estate lady just sold us some big old house up on the hill. It's right next to the Chamberlains. We just moved in.
Ah, So, it looks like Lewis Oil is coming to Springfield to stay. Does that mean a merger with LTA?
Now, Mr. Andrews. Family secrets will never pass these lips.
I know, that was silly of me, wasn't it? Of course not. Cheers.
Oh. Now, as far as the apartment goes, everything is going to stay as is. I'm leaving dishes, linens, furniture, and you can do with it what you want.
Well, you're not very sentimental, are you? I mean, out with the old, in with the new.
As a matter of fact, I'm very sentimental. This apartment holds a lot. Almost forgot. Oh.
You know, Mrs. Lewis, you have wonderful taste.
Oh, thank you. Ah, there.
What there?
Well, this is my chili pot. I make venison chili in this pot. I couldn't go anywhere without this pot.
I see. It's certainly a very attractive pot.
I know.
Mm-hmm. Shall we go? Come on.
Oh, in a minute. You know something, Mr. Andrews? I get the feeling that you and I are cut from the same cloth. It's kind of nice way up here. Looking down at the rest of Springfield. Makes you feel kind of special. But you know something else? You can climb as high as you can see, and it'll never make you king of the hill. It never will.
Well, we'll just see about that.
Okay, for the first setup, I want the camera here and the lights over by the bar. Oh, and you don't need to tell anyone to be quiet. I don't mind the background noise. Let's let everyone know we're in a bar, huh? Come on, let's go. Hurry. Would you mind moving a few of these tables out of the way, please?
Me?
Yes.
Ma, will you come on, please? Just cut it out.
Hey, never mind that. Just do me a favor. Think about what you're going to say.
I don't know what I'm going to say.
Oh, that's great.
Maybe you should
Listen,
tuck
just
it
tell them about San Rios and how horrible it was.
It wasn't that horrible.
Yes, it was.
Then fine. Why don't you do this interview?
Well, maybe that's not a bad idea.
Hey, what's happening?
Dr. Jim's doing an interview for television.
In here, a couple of regular customers were on their way out, and they were complaining about the service. And Tony cares a lot more about his customers than he does about publicity.
Okay, everybody, we're all set. Dr. Reardon?
I still think you should tuck it in, honey.
I'm coming.
She's
Come
calling.
on.
Okay. You're going to be great. Break a leg. Go get him.
You all set?
Yeah.
Action. This is Alicia Romer with Dr. Jim Reardon at Tony and Company, a friendly neighborhood bar on 7th Street, which is owned and operated by Dr. Reardon's brother. How do you imagine a world-renowned research scientist would feel about being forced to mix martinis instead of medical miracles?
Oh, great. Tony is definitely not going to like this.
I understand this.
I had quite a few disagreements while I was working on the cure for the dreaming death.
Why the shift, then?
Well, nothing succeeds like success.
Why the censure? Cut. Let's go to something different. How you doing on tape?
We better reload.
Dr. Reardon, you're a marvelous subject.
Yeah, I'm just doing great, aren't I?
No, really. You're so relaxed and articulate. You're going to look great on camera.
Yeah, well, that's real nice of you to say.
You know, I wasn't looking forward to doing this interview. We met a couple of months ago under trying circumstances.
In my lab, I remember.
You weren't too pleased with the press that day.
No, I'm sure I wasn't.
Ready to go now. Good. You all set?
Yeah.
Action. Why the censure, Dr. Reardon?
or criticized by their peers. Galileo was one.
You're in excellent company, then.
No, I don't presume to compare myself with Galileo. Perhaps the censure is a time-honored scientific reward. It gives the rest of the scientific community a chance to catch up. I would like to say, though, that I did do a lot of things that were risky. However, if I could have gotten the results that I needed without the risk, I certainly would have done so. I guess, however, the Medical Ethics Review Board felt that my punishment was necessary.
Do you think it was necessary?
Preserving human lives is what is necessary. Now, if I had my choice between saving lives or keeping rules, you better bet I'd opt for saving lives every single time.
Yeah. Oh, Dr. Reardon is really pouring it on.
Do you think it's too much?
No way. Are you kidding me? That's just what people want to hear on television. It's like Robin Hood against the bad guys.
I don't think I could.
James, what are you doing here?
Well, I just,
Research.
So Miss Orwell from Piper Realty sold you this house when Miss Piper was on vacation.
Right.
Miss Piper came back and she tried to buy the house back. And then she offered to give you a better house at the same price.
Right.
And then she told you that this house was never for sale.
Which is ludicrous. It was. There were signs all over the place.
And Miss Orwell is no longer working for Piper Realty.
That's right. They told me she had left the agency.
She's probably fired.
When did you first let Miss Piper know that you weren't interested in another house?
Oh, let's see. That must have been right before she showed up here one day when we weren't home with the building inspector, who's probably on the take. And he told us we have to vacate the premises because the building doesn't come up to code or safety, something.
But you said that Tony was going to fix all that up, right?
Right, but then Miss Piper comes up with this doubt of ownership because of a cloud over the title.
Right, and then we checked that out when it turns out the records have been stolen from the county clerk's office.
And then you came back here and found... Was that all?
Is that all? Mike, what else can they do to us?
Mike, isn't that harassment or something like that?
Well, there certainly seemed to be an awful lot of commotion about this apartment. And it all seems to be centered around Piper Realty.
Can we take him to court and sue him or something?
What about the Better Business Bureau? I mean, don't real estate people have to have licenses and...
No, wait. If we look close enough, I bet we can find something on Miss Piper or the agency.
Yes.
We'll use it as leverage. We'll make her give us the
Wait a minute. Now, wait a minute. Why don't we just let me sit down and calmly discuss this thing with Miss Piper?
Because you haven't yet met Miss Piper.
We're being railroaded here, and I don't like it. The lady's telling me I can't have something that I already own.
Mike, can they take this house away from us?
Well, as far as the building code stuff is concerned, that all can be taken care of. And as far as the title's concerned, if Piper Realty owned the house, all you'd have to do is sign a guarantee saying that they wouldn't be held responsible if there were a claim against the house. Is the mortgage.
We'll go to another bank.
Well, Tony, as I already explained to you, no bank will give you a mortgage without a clear title.
I'd take out a second mortgage on company.
No, you can't
Yes,
do
I will.
that.
Why?
Tony, you know, why wasn't I born rich? I have used every penny I've made paying off those student loans.
You forget that. I'm going to take out a second mortgage on company.
Do you have enough equity in company to be able to do that?
I don't know. But I can find out. The papers are in the safe over at company. Listen, Mike, thank you very much. You hang in there. I love you.
I love you.
Okay. Let's see.
Tony's quite a fighter, isn't he?
He's wonderful.
And well, I just want to say something before you get too deeply involved in any kind of a legal battle here. This kind of a thing can legally be very...
Nothing is going to get us out of this house. Nothing. We belong here. We're staying here.
You look so sad.
Sorry, I didn't mean to bring you down my blue fountain.
Billy, I'm your wife, remember? For better or for worse.
Well, the worst part is definitely my family.
Now, your family happens to be made up of very fine people.
Separately, maybe. But you put them all together, and that's when trouble starts to brew. And let me tell you, Josh, HB, and Reva are just about as close as three people can get.
Well, it's all right. They're grown-ups.
Well, Josh is in a wheelchair.
I know that. But Josh is still capable of fighting his own battles, wheelchair or no. You know, those wedding vows were for better or for worse, but we've done an awful lot of concentrating on the worse. So why don't we just start thinking about the...
You're definitely the best part of better.
Well, me and our baby.
Yeah, you and the baby.
Good. All right. Now, this is nice. Having lunch alone, just the three of us.
Ever tell you you're beautiful?
All of me?
Every inch. I propose a toast. To our love and the new life it's brought us.
And to a golden, glorious summer.
And raspberries for dessert.
And you're coming home with me. Not going back to the office, and we'll take a long nap, and you won't get any sleep.
I'll drink to that. I got another toast.
Oh, dear.
So much for better, here comes worse.
Well, it looks like everybody had the same idea. It is a beautiful day to be eating outside, isn't it?
Oh, yes, it is. Won't you join us?
Oh, thank you, Vanessa, darling, but Regis has our table waiting.
So how's Josh doing?
He's at the hospital for his therapy session.
That boy sure does work hard at those sessions.
That's because he just can't wait to get out of your house.
Oh, Billy boy, that's...
I suggest we let Billy and Vanessa eat their lunch. Excuse us, folks.
I love you, Mrs. Lewis.
I love you, Mr. Lewis.
How sweet. Hello, Muffy. You too.
Any lunch with Mr. Warren Andrews.
Well, you just better watch those martinis.
You better watch out for a Warren, too.
Oh, it's strictly business. I have to talk to my boss about a meeting I had with the Baroness von Halkheim. She's such an incredible woman. We were talking about the opening of the new hospital wing on Founder's Day. Now, Vanessa, it's going to be big, and I want your help. You're so good at these things. You will help me, won't you? Please, please, please. I knew you would. Oh, my goodness, you'll never guess what happened. The most awful thing happened while I was at the Baroness's house.
Yes.
Oh, I gotta go. I'll tell you later. Ciao, kid.
What the hell was that all about?
It's just Muffy. Why is it that every time I am with you, I feel delightfully happy, and every time I get around your family, I feel terrible?
Well, I figure my kids haven't weathered yet. They need a few more years in the sun and rain before they mellow out.
You really think that's all they need? I think Billy needs a flood. Oh, by the way, you'll never guess.
My ideas are our ideas. She even liked the plastic hard hats.
What plastic hard hats?
Oh, that's right, I didn't tell you. Well, I'll tell you later. Now, the opening's definitely going to be on Founder's Day. The Baroness approved of the caterer, and we're both seriously considering a string quartet. Now, guess what hideous thing happened right in the middle of tea? She got an anonymous letter. I mean, kind of little cutout letters, signed in blood. Can you believe it? I mean, I don't know all the details, but the Baroness was very upset. She doesn't want anyone to know about it. I don't understand it. It has something to do with some kind of a task force. Do you know anything about that?
I knew that task force was going to backfire.
Signed in blood. Gross me out. You know, for a while, I was receiving obscene phone calls late at night, heavy breathing, da-da-da-da-da. I went to Europe. You can't fool around with people like that. You know what I think? The Baroness should go to Europe.
We knew that this meant trouble. You know what your problem is? You don't know who you're up against. These aren't a bunch of preppies who get busted for coke or stealing the family car. These guys mean business.
So you know them?
Of course I know them. I grew up on the street, remember? And they scare me. They got nothing to lose, and that's what makes them dangerous.
Is that letter from the Galahads?
If not the Galahads, it's a gang just like them.
Oh, all of them. All the gangs joining together. They might have done that just to get back at the task force.
They didn't send notes to any other members of the task force, only to me. I checked. Now, why did they do that, Brandon?
Because as far as they're concerned, you are the task force.
Oh, Rip, this whole thing is absurd. A bunch of juvenile delinquents are trying to scare me. Well, I will not be. I just won't be intimidated by that.
Don't you get it? You're in trouble, and I don't like it. This target. You're a sitting duck.
What did you say?
He said my mother.
So, okay, I'm worried about my mother. I feel like this is my fault or something. They're going after you because of me.
I won't pretend that I didn't start this task force because of my concern about you.
There, see?
I wanted you to leave the Galahads. Desperately, in fact. But it's become something much more than that now. I am committed to this task force, and I simply cannot back down.
Why can't you? Those guys can get by just fine without you on that little task force.
I've given my word to fight these street hoodlums. Don't you understand that? I've given my word.
Yeah. You can't go back on your word. Mixed up in this. You or anybody else.
No, what could you have done? You'd be putting yourself in danger, and I cannot bear that. No, oh, no. Look, I have finally found you after searching all these years, and I will not allow you to take any unnecessary risks.
Well, what about you? You're talking about risks. You can't even walk out the door without your life being in danger. You're not safe anyplace, I'm telling you. Look, they sent you a warning. This is a warning, okay? Now, you're not gonna get no more. Next time, this is gonna be action. Not a bunch of little cutout pieces of paper on a page. I'm telling you, next time, this blood could be yours.
Thank you, Dr. Reardon.
Thank you.
Cut. I'll try to get as much of this on the air as I can.
Yeah, well, thanks. I think it went as well as possible,
Yes,
huh?
it did. I hope it does you some...
Tell me what the hell's going on here?
Oh, you just missed it. Dr. Jim just gave a great interview. It's gonna be in the news.
He gave an interview here? Great. Wonderful. Terrific. Hi, Ma. This isn't a TV studio. It's a neighborhood bar.
Folks, listen, in honor of my brother working here, we're gonna have a little Tony's tea time, half-price drinks, first round on the house. Huh? All right, Floyd, give me a hand, will ya?
Alrighty.
Where's Lou Jack? Lou Jack, get out here.
He took some time off.
Hey, the whole place is falling apart.
Will you excuse me for just 1 minute?
Sure.
Hi.
But I'm glad you like your job, Jim.
Look, Tony, you got a right to be upset, okay? I didn't know anything about this interview. All of a sudden, they just came in out of the blue.
It's my bar, you understand? Not yours. And you're not taking it over. You got that?
I'm not trying to take it over. All I want is my lab back.
Well, good, because I want your lab back, too. I want you out of here.
Fine, you don't have to tell me twice.
Great.
Great. Look it out!
Let's go. Let's follow her.
Dad, I should have stayed in bed. This is ridiculous.
Tony, listen,
What?
I owe you an apology.
For what?
Well, it's just that this is my fault, this interview. I'm the one who organized it without telling you or Jim. And listen, I didn't think it through. It was dumb, and I'm sorry.
Jim didn't know anything about this.
Now I gotta go find him and apologize.
No, just wait. Till tomorrow.
Wait till I see him, me hollering at my brother in the 6 o'clock news. No, I don't think
well,
so.
see, the cameras weren't rolling then. I mean, everything's gonna be...
What is happening to me? I'm a simple guy. I run a bar. I love my wife. I love my family. I even love my bar. What's happening?
Okay, drink this, catch your breath, and tell me what is going on.
Oh, I'll try. Oh, I was so excited. Where's Tony? I was on television. Yeah, and Tony's got to get back to company so he can get interviewed, too.
What are you talking about?
You know Alicia Romer? She came over to company to interview me. I told her all about Jimmy when he was growing up, and if Tony gets back there, he can get interviewed, too. Where is he?
He should be at company by now.
I didn't see him. Oh, hey, honey, this place looks terrific.
Oh, thank you.
Oh, but, sweetheart, I think your mantle is a little crooked.
It often is.
Oh, and look, you found another lamp to match this one.
Yes, I did. They're my prize.
You got one!
Yes, we did. Wait till you see. Come on up. Come on.
Oh, okay. Oh, listen, you should see this Alicia Romer. Oh, honey, is she attractive in the clothes she had on? You wouldn't believe it. Oh, honey, that bed is gorgeous.
Isn't it wonderful? I love it, and
I
so
saw
does
this fun
Tony.
little antique dress here I think would go just swell with... Oh, honey, your lamps are out. Oh, maybe it's the oil?
No, it's full of oil.
Oh, I guess it's the wicks then. They really are lovely. 2 beacons of light guarding your threshold.
Oh, thanks. I never had tea like this before.
Don't worry. They're a lot sturdier than they look. Just like me.
Yeah, you're pretty tough, ain't you?
I certainly am.
And I always thought I got my guts from my old man.
You know, HB, you know what we need?
What?
We need to have us some good times. I mean, it has been real gloom and doom around here since we got back from Hawaii. I think Josh could stand a laugh again, too. What do you think? I mean, do you know that when you laugh, your body gives off these little things called endorphins? I mean, I read about this in a magazine. I did. And what happens is they go directly into your bloodstream and they make you feel great.
Well, there's no doubt about it. Laughing and having good times is very good for everybody.
So what do you say? I say we have us a party. I mean, a real old-fashioned, foot-stomping, hooting and hollering kind of party in 2 weeks. What do you say?
2 weeks?
2 weeks is plenty of time to plan a party. And I want this party to bring the family together. Well, I want it to be big and elegant and a lot of fun, and I want everybody to be there.
What's so interesting?
Lewis's. They talk a good game, but when it comes to togetherness, all I see is a lot of tension.
Poor Vanessa.
Why poor Vanessa?
Well, for one thing, that sister-in-law of hers, or I should say mother-in-law now, she's not a very nice person. Do you know what she told me? That Joshua Lewis, that's the other brother, had a, well, you know, a social disease. Imagine that.
This is where he belongs. What a story.
This has been Guiding Light.